ازاي تنجح وتجيب مجموع وانت قاعد على الانترنت؟ اليوم السابع بيقدم اقوى مراجعات نهائية للثانوية العامة لنخبة من افضل المدرسين. اتفرج وذاكر وانجح وجيب مجموع بالفيديو على اليوم السابع.
Dear student, welcome in our final physics revision in اليوم السابع newspaper. We'll continue our important questions and I want of each of you to read the question carefully before answering it. Let's begin. The first question is, what is meant by? Number 1, the distance between the first and the fifth crests in a transverse wave is 24 centimeter. Okay, you have to draw these waves and you will find that they will be 4 waves. So the wavelength of one wave equal, yes, that's right, 24 divided 4 and it will be 6 centimeter. Another question, the density of aluminum equals 2700 kilogram per cubic meter. Yes, that means that the mass per unit volume of aluminum equals 2700 kilograms. That's right. Another question, the flow rate of a liquid is 3 times 10 power negative 3 kilogram per second. Yes, it means that the mass of flowing liquid in unit time equals 3 times 10 power negative 3 kilogram. That's right. Another question, the distance between 2 successive nodes in a standing wave is 5 centimeter. Okay, a standing wave, the 2 successive nodes, this means that made half standing wave. So wavelengths here equal double the distance between 2 successive nodes. Yes, then the wavelengths will be equal to 5 times 2 equal 10 centimeter. Yes, the answer will be wavelength of a standing wave is 10 centimeters. That's right. Another sentence, the dispersive power of a prism equals 0.02. Yes, we have relation about the dispersive power. That means that the ratio between the angular dispersion between blue and red rays to the deviation angle of yellow light in a prism equals 0.02. That's right. Look at the other sentence. It is the inverse of sentence number 5. Read it. The ratio between the angular dispersion between blue and red rays to the deviation angle of the yellow light in a same prism equal 0.08. Yes, this means that the dispersive power of a prism equals 0.08. Another question, what is meant by gauge pressure of a trapped gas equals 100 Pa? Yes, the difference between the pressure of enclosed gas and atmospheric pressure equal 100 Pa, or it means that the gas pressure is greater than the atmospheric pressure by 100 times. That's right. Another question, what is meant by mechanical advantage of hydraulic press equal 100? Yes, the mechanical advantage equal to the ratio between the area of the large piston to the area of small piston equal 100, and the law is F capital divide F small equals A capital divide A small equals 100. Another sentence, what is meant by the specific density of aluminum equals 2.7. Okay, we have more than one sentence, but we need only one. You know that specific density, the ratio between the density of aluminum to the density of water at the same temperature equals 2.7. That's right. Another sentence, the normal force acting on unit surface area equals 5 times 10 power 3 Newton. Yes, we have this definition as a pressure. The pressure applied or acting on unit area equals 5 times 10 power 3 Newton per meter square. Another sentence. The universal constant, the universal gas constant equals 8.31 joule per Kelvin. Yes, you know that the universal constant is R, and we have relation said that PV equal nRT. So R will be the heat energy needed to increase the temperature of 1 mole of the gas by 1 Kelvin is 8.31 joule. That's right. Another sentence. The coefficient of volume expansion of air at constant pressure is 1 divided 273 Kelvin. What is meant by that? Yes, the definition said the increase in volume per unit volume at 0 degrees Celsius for each 1 degree Celsius raise in temperature equals 1 divided 273 at constant pressure. You must say constant pressure because this is the condition of this definition. Another question. What is meant by absolute zero equals negative 273 degrees Celsius? Of course, you have more than one answer, but we have only to write one answer. Yes, it means that someone will say it means that the degree at which the kinetic energy of molecules of gas will vanish. Another one will say it is the degree at which the pressure of gas vanishes theoretically at constant volume. Another one said it is the degree at which the volume of gas vanishes theoretically at constant pressure. Let's see the answer here. Yes, it is the temperature at which the kinetic energy of gas molecules vanish, and it is equal to negative 273. Okay, another sentence. The magnetic flux density at a point is 3 Tesla. Okay, the answer will be the number of magnetic flux lines crossing perpendicular unit area surrounding this point is 3. That's right. We still in this question, the type of this question, what is meant by the sensitivity of galvanometer equals 0.07 radian per microampere. We all know that sensitivity of galvanometer equals theta divided I. This mean that yes, the angle of deflection when a current of 1 microampere passing through its coil is 0.07 radian. That's right. Another sentence. The mutual induction between two coils equal 0.1 Henry. Yes, you have to remember. Yes, it means that the induced EMF generated in the secondary coil is 0.1 volt when intensity of current is changed in the primary coil by 1 ampere in 1 second. That's right. Another sentence. What is meant by the self-induction of a coil equal 0.3 Henry? Yes, the answer is it is the self-induction of a coil which create an induced electromotive force of 0.3 volts when the current changes by 1 ampere in 1 second in the same coil. Here is in the same coil. Another sentence. The efficiency of an electric transformer is 90%. Okay, we have to answer it in two ways. Number one means that the energy gained from the secondary coil to the energy given to the primary coil equal 90 divided 100, or someone will say that it means the lost energy or the energy consumed equal 10 divided 9, 10%. That's right also. Another sentence. The effective value of alternating current equal to 2 ampere. Yes, it means that the value of the direct current which generates the same rate of heat effect in a resistance or the same power as that generated by AC equal to ampere. Another sentence. The photoelectric effect. Some of free electrons of a metal can escape from the surface if given enough energy in the form of heat or light. Another question. What is meant by the electrical conductivity of silver equal 6 times 10 power 6 Simon per meter? Okay, we can answer it in two different ways. we all know that there is an inverse relationship between resistivity and the conductivity. So someone will say, I said that the electrical conductivity equal 1 divide all this number because it is the inverse of the resistivity. Another one will say, I'll answer it as in the law. It means that the resistance of a conductor of length 1 meter and the area 1 meter square equal this number. Here is the answer in front of you. It means that the resistivity of silver equal 1 divide 6 times 10 power 6 ohm per meter. Of course, electrical conductivity is the inverse of resistivity. That's right. Another sentence, what is meant by pumping process? Yes, pumping process, it is the process of imparting energy to the working substance or active medium of laser to transfer the atoms into the excited level. Okay, we all know that laser depend on the inversion population, and in this situation number of atoms in the excited level should be greater than the number in the ordinary level or the ground state. So we must give energy, imparting energy for this excitation, and this we call pumping process. Another question, what is meant by Compton effect? Okay, you know that when a photon collide with electron, the photon, its frequency decreases and change its direction. Also the electron, the velocity of electron increases and change its direction, and this is fact proves that photon has dual property as well as electron. Another sentence, what is meant by the amplification of transistor equal 500? Okay, we know that transistor is used as amplifier, and this means that the output amplified voltage equals 500 times as input voltage. Another sentence, population inversion. Yes, this is the situation or the position, as we said before, where the number of excited atoms in the higher level is greater than the lower level. Another sentence, what is meant by the potential barrier in p-n junction is 0.3 volt. Okay, the answer is potential difference of 0.3 volt produces the movement of electrons in the negative crystal to the positive crystal, also which is sufficient. This is the potential difference sufficient to prevent the passage of more electrons from the negative crystal to the positive. The last question here is what is meant by pure semiconductors. As we know, semiconductors are materials which have conductivity lies between insulators and conductors. At low temperature they are perfectly insulator, but when their temperature increases they become conductors. Okay, let's see the answer. The answer in front of you, they are materials, their conductivity lies between conductors and insulator. At absolute zero they are perfect insulators, and as the temperature increases their conductivity increases. Okay, we'll see another model of question, and please read these questions carefully. Explain how can we use the U-shaped tube shown in the figure to determine the density of water, practically knowing the density of oil, and deduce the law used. Okay, before answering this question, listen carefully, think carefully. This type of question may have more than one request, so you have to read it carefully, and you have to know how many requests in this question and begin to answer each of these. Okay, let's answer the question. Let us answer it. Okay, we will take 2 points A and C in the same horizontal level. Okay, so the pressure at A equals the pressure at C. That's right. And so Pressure at C equal BA plus raw water GH2 equals the pressure at A, which equals BA plus raw oil GH1. So raw water equals raw oil H1 divide H2. Okay, and of course here, by knowing density of oil, by knowing the height of water above the horizontal level H2 and the height of oil above the separating surface, which is H1, we can measure or determine practically the density of water. Another question. Mention the postulates of the kinetic theory of gases. We all know this theory states some postulates, which are: number one, yes, a gas consists of very minute and perfectly elastic spheres. Number two, yes, the intermolecular distances are relatively large, so the volume of gas molecules is negligible compared with the volume occupied by the gas itself. That's right. Number three, the forces of intermolecular attraction between the gas molecules are very weak. That's right. Number four, gas molecules are in continuous random motion due to collisions between each other and due to their collisions with walls of the container. Number five, the molecules move between any two successive collisions in straight lines. Number six, the collisions between the gas molecules are considered elastic collision. Of course, in some questions, maybe the question needs 3 postulates or 4 postulates, but you have to know that this theory have 6 postulates. You have to know all of them. Okay, another question. By using Joules's apparatus, can be carried out an experiment showing the relation between the pressure of enclosed air with its temperature at constant volume, as illustrated in the graph. Okay, number one, write the physical formula of the coefficient of the increase in pressure at constant volume. Number two, think of this answer please, of this question. Number two, what does the point A indicate and what its value is? Number three, what will happen to a liquid helium when its temperature approached point A? Okay, this figure in front of you illustrates Joule apparatus experiment, and of course this experiment proves that the pressure of enclosed gas is directly proportional to its temperature on Kelvin scale at constant volume. So we'll try to answer this question together. Question 1, again, the physical formula of coefficient of increase in pressure. Yes, we all know it. Beta equals B at 100 degree minus B at 0 degree divided B at 0 degree times 100. Okay, number 2, point A indicates, yes, absolute zero, which equals negative 273 degrees Celsius or 0 Kelvin. Yes, you can write this or this value or the other value. Okay, liquid helium loses its viscosity completely when temperature approached 0 Kelvin, and it can flow upwards against gravity or friction along the wall of container, as we all know. Okay, another question. Draw labeled diagram of AC generator. Write idea of the generator. Of course, we know structure of generator as we see. Yes, it consists of, number 1, as we see in the figure, a strong horseshoe magnet of concave poles, and number 2, armature, yes, consisted of metal rectangle and its terminals are connected to 2 metallic rings. Yes, and number 3, 2 carbon brushes, and which is continuous contract with the 2 rings. They are the 2 poles of the generator to which load is joined. Okay, what is its idea of generator? Yes, from the figure, we know that when the coil of wire is rotated in a magnetic field such that its sides cut magnetic flux lines, an induced EMF produced in the coil and an electric current can be obtained. And we all know that AC generator used to change mechanical energy into electric energy. That's right. Another question. Draw label diagram of step-up transformer and deduce the relation for calculating. Number 1, the relation between IB and IS. Number 2, efficiency of the transformer. Okay, first, structure of transformer, we'll see it. Yes, from this structure we can say that transformer consists of two coils, primary coil and secondary coil. Yes, they are wounded around soft iron core made of thin sheet insulated from each other as shown in the figure. Okay, the relation between current, electric current in the primary coil, and IS, which is the current in the secondary coil. Okay, we all know that there is no loss in energy consumed or transferring from primary and secondary coil according to law of conservation of energy. Okay, then the consumed energy in the primary coil must equal consumed energy in the secondary coil. That's right. Okay, then VBIB times T equals VS times IS times T. Okay, and then input power must equal output power, so IS divide IB must equal VB divide VS, and from this relation we can deduce that there is inverse relation between the current passing through each coil and the voltage in this coil. Also we can deduce the number of turns in step up transformer and step down transformer. Okay, the efficiency of the transformer equals VSIS divided VBIB, which means that output power to input power, the ratio between output power to input power. Okay, another question. Account on the assumption of quantum mechanics which are given by Schrödinger. Okay, we all know the assumption of Schrödinger, which are: number 1, the electron in an atom has energy equals to energy level where it is. Okay, number 2, the excitation occurs when the atom absorbed energy or photon, its energy equal to the energy difference between two levels. The atom is excited and the electron moves up from lower energy level to higher energy level. This means that when the atom in a normal state, electron will be in its ordinary energy level. Only when the atom is given quantity of energy, and this energy equals the difference between energy of two levels. Hence, this atom will be excited and the electron will transfer from lower level to higher level, and this is we call excitation process. Okay, the third assumption, relaxation occurs when the atom falls down from high level to lower energy level. It loses energy in the form of photon whose energy is equal to the difference between the two energy levels. Okay, you see that excitation process is the inverse of relaxation process. In excitation process, atom gains amount of energy, and this leads to the transference of electron from the lower level to the higher level, where in relaxation process the atom loses this amount of energy in the form of photon, and the electron transfer from the higher level to the lower level. So the two processes are inverse to each other. The fourth assumption, when the photon energy is greater than the ionization energy of the atom, an electron becomes free from the atom and the atom becomes ion. That's right. The last assumption, at thermal equilibrium, the atom is stable due to the balance between the relaxation process and the excitation process. Another question, what are the postulates of Rutherford about the atom? Okay, you take these postulates before in chemistry, yes, in the last year. Rutherford said that atom has positive charge nucleus in its center, and of course the atom is dynamic, so electron rotate around the nucleus all the times, otherwise they will attract to the nucleus and fall in it. The atom will destroy. Atom is electrically neutral because number of protons equal number of electrons, and most of the atom is space. Let's see the answer. Number 1, yes, most of the mass of atom is centered in a positive nucleus. Number 2, the atom is dynamic, that is to say electrons move faster around the nucleus. Number 3, the atom is electrically neutral, that is to say the number of electrons outside the nucleus is equal to the number of positively charged particles inside the nucleus. Number 4, most of the size of the atom is empty space. Okay, another question. Explain by drawing a method to produce X-rays using college tube and why these rays are used in studying the crystalline structure of material. Here we see shape of college tube which is used to produce X-rays, and it consists of number 1, target material, number 2, filament, which is a source of electrons when it is heated, and the target connected to the anode, which is a copper cylinder. Okay, what happened when we need to produce X-rays? When the filament is heated, the electrons are produced and directed to the target, which gives them light energy depending on the voltage difference between the target and the filament. Okay, and when the electron collide with the target, as you see in the structure, part of their energy is converted to X-rays. Why these rays are used in studying the crystalline structure of material? This is because they penetrate materials, and the atoms in the crystal act as the diffracting grating, as we know. Okay, another question. Draw only label diagram to show how the p-n junction is connected in the forward direction and in the backward direction. As we see in forward direction, the N crystal when it is connected to the negative pole, and the P crystal when it is connected to the positive pole, and so the potential barrier decrease and the current can pass. While in the backward direction, when N crystal is connected to the positive pole of battery and P crystal is connected to the negative pole of battery, so potential barrier increase and no current pass, and this is why we use p-n junction as a switch. Okay, another question. Draw the equivalent circuit for an AND gate and deduce the table which relies it, and how a transistor may be used as an AND gate. Okay, let's answer the first part of this question. The equivalent circuit of AND gate, here we show in the figure, yes, and we all see that AND gate has 2 inputs and 1 output. The 2 inputs must high to give high input, and the trust table, as we see, the first input A0 and the second input B0, then the output 0. The first input A0, the second input B1, then the output 0. The first input A1, the second input B0, then the output 0. But when the first input and the second input 1 and 1, the output will be 1. Okay. The last part of the question. How a transistor may be used as an AND gate. with more than one emitter may be used as an AND gate so that the transistor will not pass current unless each emitter has positive voltage. Okay, another question. Mention the necessary conditions for each of the following. Number 1, I want you to know that to know the conditions of each of the following. You have to know the factors affecting each of the following. Let's begin. Number 1, to obtain a standing wave. Yes, to obtain standing wave, yes, we have two identical waves having the same amplitude, frequency, speed, but in opposite direction. That's right. Number 2, how to obtain destructive interference of light. Yes, two or more waves having same frequency, amplitude are in phase, but the path difference equal m plus half lambda. Yes. Number 3, total internal reflecting. Yes, when the angle of incidence in more tensile medium greater than, yes, the critical angle, so the ray will reflect back and never refract to the other medium. Okay, another sentence. The steady flow of a liquid through a tube filled with it. We have more than one condition. The most important one is that the liquid must fill the tube completely and the speed of flow must be constant. That is right. Another sentence. Gauge pressure equals 0 when the gas pressure equal atmospheric pressure. That is right. Number 6, upthrust of liquid equals 0. Yes, when no immersed part, there is no immersed volume of liquid and the liquid float above surface of water. In this case, only the upthrust of liquid will be equal 0. That's right. Another question. The production mentioned the condition for the production of cathode rays in the cathode ray tube. Yes, there are two conditions. Number 1, the pressure inside the tube must equal 0.01 millimeter mercury, and number 2, must high voltage difference between cathode and anode. Number 8, electrons escape from the metal surface if the photon falls on the surface have frequency greater than the critical value. That's right. And in this case, photocurrent will produce. That's right. Another sentence. Obtain the characteristic line spectrum of an element. How to obtain? Yes, if the electron collide with a close electron of the nucleus of the target material atom. That's right. In this case only, we can obtain the characteristic line spectrum. Another sentence. Emit the atom and emission stimulated. Yes, that's right. If a photon of energy falls on excited atom at level 2 before the lifetime is over, it will stimulate the atom to return back and emit photon in addition to the original one. And this is the idea of making laser, as we said before. Another question. Laser action to take place. Yes, we have to go to a situation of population inversion where there are much greater number of atoms in the excited state than in the ground state should be reached, the occurring of stimulated emission. Okay, we'll go now to another type of question, which are write down the equivalent unit of the following and mention the physical quantity is used for measuring it. Okay, number 1, cycle per second. What is the equivalent unit of this unit? Yes, I hear someone said hertz. That's right. And what is the physical quantity? Yes, it's frequency. That's right, very good. Number 2, Newton per meter square. Yes, it is equivalent to Pascal or Joule per cubic meter. That's right. And the physical quantity is the pressure. That's right. Number 3, Weber per meter square. Yes, it is equivalent to, yes, Newton per ampere times meter. And this is the unit for measuring, or Tesla, very good. And this is the unit of measuring magnetic flux density. Another unit, ohm, -1 times meter, -1. The equivalent unit is, yes, Simon, meter, -1. And this is the unit of measuring, yes, conductivity. Another unit, volt times ampere, -1. The equivalent unit is, very good, ohm. And the physical quantity is, very good, resistance. The last unit here is volt times second time ampere, -1. It is equivalent to Henry, very good. And the physical quantity is mutual inductance, very good. Another type of question, mention the factors affecting each of the following. And for knowing the factors, we have to know the relation. We have to write the relation, mathematical relation, and from this relation we can know the factors affecting the physical quantities. Let's begin. Number 1, the relative refractive index of medium. Yes, we all know that the relative refractive index depends on the speed of light in the first medium and the speed of light in the second medium, because the relative refractive index equals V1 divided V2. Very good. Sentence 2, the frequency of the fundamental tone of a vibrating string. Yes, we all know the relation that said frequency equal N divide 2L times square root F tension divide M. Then the factors is, number 1, the length of a string, number 2, the tension, number 3, mass per unit length. Very good. Another question, angle of deviation in the thin prism. We all know that angle of deviation equals A times N minus 1. So the factors affecting angle of deviation is, yes, angle of the prism and refractive index of the material of the prism. Another sentence, the self-induction coefficient of coil. Yes, number 1, number of turns, number 2, spacing between the turns, number 3, geometry of the coil, number 4, magnetic permeability of each core. Okay, another sentence, mention the factors affecting the magnetic flux density at the center of circular loop. Yes, number 1, number of turns of the coil, number 2, intensity of electric current passing in the coil, number 3, radius of the coil, number 4, permeability. Okay, number 6, factors affecting the magnetic flux density at the axis of solenoid carrying current. Number 1, current intensity or current flowing, number 2, number of turns, and number 3, the length of solenoid. Okay, another sentence, the induced EMF generated in the coil of dynamo. Number 1, we know that induced EMF equals NAB omega sine theta. Sin, for that, number 1, number of turns, which is N, number 2, area of the coil, which is A, number 3, magnetic flux density, which is B, number 4, sine theta, which is the angle between the coil plane and the normal to the magnetic flux lines. Another question, dispersive power. Yes, dispersive power is affected by kind of material of breath, yes, refractive index of blue light, refractive index of red light, and at last refractive index of yellow light. Another question, what are the factors affecting critical angle between two media? Number 1, yes, refractive index of denser media, and number 2, refractive index of less denser media, and number 3, the angle of incidence must be in the denser medium. That's right. The last question is, what are the factors affecting the electrical resistance of conductor? Yes, number 1, the length of conductor or the area of conductor, number 2, length of conductor, Number 3, type of material of conductor. And number 4, the temperature. We reach the end of our revision. I wish you all good luck and goodbye.
ازاي تنجح وتجيب مجموع وانت قاعد على الانترنت؟ اليوم السابع بيقدم اقوى مراجعات نهائية للثانوية العامة لنخبة من افضل المدرسين. اتفرج وذاكر وانجح وجيب مجموع بالفيديو على اليوم السابع.